Okay, everybody, we are just going to go straight into it. You're going to hear a bit of music, but not much, because I can't afford it anymore. That's why I'm black and white and you guys are color. I'm sick of it. I don't understand why I can only eat once a week and you guys are eating every day. Here we go. We're going to be talking about reform. And I hope those guys admire creatives. Me.
Also.
Let's hear music then.
I thought we were going straight in with it.
We are going straight in with it. I had to say something. Right, here we go. We're going in. We're talking about reform, right? Trevor?
What are we talking about?
Well, we're going to talk about reform on a roll. We're not talking about a bread roll. We're talking about a roll while Labour are rolling down the hill.
So soon.
So soon. After only 5 months. Oh, Jesus. And they're also talking... Whoop, whoop. They're also talking about, okay, stymieing the local elections next year. Now, I had it in my head that the local elections were, somewhere around about maybe 13 authorities. It's actual fact, it's 21 authorities and 10 or 11 unitary authorities. And they haven't ruled out killing a few. And now Farage has jumped on the bandwagon saying, well, they're literally killing them and they're going to pick certain areas knowing that reform are actually on the up.
Of course they are.
Well, we'll get a comment from the reform representative here and his ladder in the background. Hello, Larry.
Did you just assume the ladder's gender?
Yes.
Oh dear.
I just assumed it.
Oh dear.
Well, I don't want to actually go into any real detail, but that's going to be revealed.
It's got no genitals, so I don't know, what is it? It's non-binary or something.
Yeah, but the thing is, you better not misgender my, because you'll end up in jail, so if you misgender my ladder. It's a very, very serious offence.
The representative of reform, what do you think about that? I mean, they're even thinking, as I just said, they are thinking of cancelling certain elections next year because of this whole reformation that they are looking to give the people under devolution more control. Trevor, go ahead.
Yeah, you think that's the reason then, do you? Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what, I've never known it before. I caught that on the news on the way home, actually. They're on about trying to freeze these local elections. And it's obvious what's going on. Reform are on the rise, and they want to try to stop that momentum as much as they can. And the minister, forget his name, he's from Oldham, actually, or he was from Oldham. He was saying today...
that guy, Harriet Harman.
Yeah, that's him.
Well, I'm going to mention him. Don't want to assume in a minute. Yeah.
Yeah, Jim, whatever his name is. He's
Jim McMahon. Jim McMahon.
He's got a nice big position now, hasn't he? Yeah, I mean, it's a coincidence. It's a coincidence, isn't it?
Yeah.
Coincidence, to say the least. Because what's happened now, you must have seen the St. Helens result that's been all over the news.
Yes.
I mean, Blackbrook in St. Helens, I work around that region and I've done a few campaigns around there as well.
They're definitely Labour, aren't they?
Oh, it's staunch Labour. It's like somewhere in Wales, you get the old mining pits, the old mining towns, they were staunch Labour. Well, St. Helens is nothing different with the St. Helens glass and the big industries we had there. Same as Warrington with the wire.
Do you remember St. Helens glass? Helens glass has the class.
That's it. Mm. And the Blackbrook area in particular, where that is, it's like it's the same as Warrington North, where I live. That's St. Helens North, where that was, and it's just like winning in Latchford or winning in Poplars and Hume or Orford in my town. It was a big win. It was a really big win for the bloke, and well done. And,
well, it was a big win. Let's just go through some of the election results. Big win. We're talking, right? Victor Floyd who was the winner, he got 546 votes and obviously was elected. Sally Yeoman, Labour, 460 votes. Daniel John Thomas, Green, 167. Thomas Dodd, Conservative, 102 votes. And Trevor Anthony McLaughlin, Independent, 52 votes. So,
yeah, but the point is, as we've mentioned,
it's a reflection of how many people come out to vote.
No, it was very low, which it's always low. I mean, as we know, we're looking at 68% normally in a general. We're looking at around about 25% on average in locals. And when you get these by-elections, you get 20% and lower. That's always the case. I
haven't got the turnout for...
I have 16.3, which...
It's 16.3. Yeah. But as we've said many times, a lower turnout always favours Labour.
Yeah. Not on this. Not
in this. Good, not on this occasion. And the point is, don't forget, Labour are not missing this. They're thinking, what the hell is going on here? And then, coincidentally, within a week, they've now brought out the information that came out today that they're going to start joining all the unitary authorities, not only the unitary, all the local authorities together. Yeah. So now they're going to suspend the local elections where everybody was saying that Reform are going to really make a big impact.
Going to rinse them.
Wow, what a coincidence that was.
Go ahead, Stats.
Yeah, I think there's slightly... You look at the aggregate vote share for local elections since the general election. Reform are the one who are rising the most at 7.2.
Yeah.
The rest of them, I mean, the Lib Dems, 0.9, but the rest of them are either going backwards or going nowhere. And then you look at the aggregate results of the 169 council by-elections. There was 172 seats. So, yeah, Reform +6. The only problem that is Labour down -25, but the Conservatives, the fake cons are up 23. But again, that might be a protest. But you mentioned Harriet Harman. Now, what they're doing now is their arses are flapping. So, as I said months ago, what they'll do is they'll revert to the Democrat tactics from the US and bing, bong, hit the nail on the head again. Harriet Harman is now calling Reform, are you ready, a threat to democracy. And we know how that happens, don't we?
Yeah.
We see what happened to Trump in America. People took pot shots at him, trying to put him in jail. Then this is the
gotta stop it. That is just
they are that worried. They're saying Reform are a threat. They're not saying they're a political threat and to go out and campaign against them. That's not what they mean. They mean stop them at all costs. So if you say tinkering with we're not going to do them, we're going to get rid of these elections, that's just the start of it. They will literally, and I'm telling you now, mark my words, they'll try and ban them like they've done the AFD. They will do anything. They'll do what the Democrats do, anything to win.
Oh, they're just...
Yeah, it doesn't matter if you destroy your own country.
I have to say that, I've been on Twitter and I've been quite rude, actually, okay, to some of these bleep wits that are on there, and especially the Labour ones, because they've been, like, for example, I mean, the big news at the moment is about Israel closing its embassy. I will come to you momentarily, Trevor, and I will give way, right? Israel closing its embassy in Ireland, and the Irish, the government there are destroying its own people, and yet they have the audacity to say that Israel are committing a genocide, And actually, I said to somebody, Israel, are actually defending us. They're actually stopping the rise of fundamental Islamism, which is bad for us.
A quick one before Trev comes in. What is replacing your own population called? Is that not genocide?
It's genocide. And that's why I said that they are, completely two-faced, because that's what they're doing against the interests, of the Irish people. And there's so many people on there, saying, you're wrong. We have to take these people in because they're good for the economy and blah, 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 blah. These people are full of shit. How was it that in the past, when we didn't have that level of immigration, everything was okay? And people were like sort of living a decent life. But anyway, getting back to Reform, if they are trying to stymie reform, reform are actually right now attacking the government over immigration. That's why people like Harriet Harman, non-entities, past their sell-by date, are able to come out because they are using them as arm's length attack dogs in order to actually turn around to people and say, don't trust them. Don't trust them. But the fact of the matter is, they're speaking the right language. They're telling the truth. And if Germany have a vote of no confidence in their government, you know who's going to get in. It's going to be right-wingers going to get in. They're going to get control. Anyway, there you go, Trevor. I'm awfully sorry about that. Back to the point.
No, I mean, that's a good point again, Mr. Landlord. You've got to watch Germany, what's happening there next. And regards Labour pointing out that, you know, reform are destroying democracy. And they're cancelling elections.
Correct.
I'm sorry. I mean, I'm sorry. Am I missing something here?
No, they are, Trev. They're missing brain cells, mate.
Yeah, they actually are, because Keir Starmer turned round and he said, if you don't like what's going on, leave. Is that democracy?
Yeah.
They're absolute balloons, a lot of them.
Oh, they're traitors. They're traitors to the people of this country.
They're never, ever going to be able to close down reform.
Labour
Reform is on such a roll at the minute,
yes,
and they're rolling the other way.
Labour are a Trojan horse for the WEF.
Yes,
Same with the
exactly.
Conservatives, sir. They are a Trojan horse. And the people of this country, if they don't wake up and see what's going on, I think they deserve everything that they get. I think that they should be slammed. I think that they should be hammered. I think they should go into a dystopian society because it'll be bye-bye from us. We're leaving. We're going to go. We're going to get out. You know, but as far as I'm concerned, you know, what about your kids? What about your children? You know, this, I wouldn't trust anybody like Justin Matters, any of the MPs in Cheshire. I wouldn't trust a single one of them. Go ahead, Mark.
Funny you should mention Justin Matters. I actually think at a local level, Labour know exactly what's going on.
Yeah.
And it's took them, 5.5 months to start distancing themselves from their own government.
Well, look at the leaflets.
Well, I'm about to read. So we've all had them. And Trevor's had them. I've got one. They've all got the same title: action, not words. And we've heard this before, haven't we? And here we go. So what they're going to do, or what they claim to do, is helping hand for struggling households. Action this winter. So the council are going to set aside money to help pensioners on low incomes. So literally trying to reverse the utter mess their government have created.
Correct.
This is incredible how badly their arses are going. There's no
all the lies, all the absolute lies
Have you
that
noticed?
they came out with.
I don't see any Labour signs on the leaflets. I don't see Keir Starmer, but I see little bits of the Union flag. Interesting.
Is that the same with you, Trevor? Is that the same kind of leaflet that you got?
No, the one that I got was the one from Frodsham and Helsby. Frosby, where they actually they took out Iron Mike Ainsbury, who was in the picture, and they airbrushed him and took him out, took him out of the picture.
Iron Mike is out.
Iron Mike is already out. He's gone. He's been scuppered, and off he goes. Now I'm just about to put up a nice post on Facebook, which I do use occasionally.
Yeah, we like you when you're nice.
Yeah, and I just hope that my two Warrington MPs, I do hope that they can try to have a very nice Christmas, because on their consciences, the fact that they had a choice of how to vote, and they voted no.
Yeah.
To
the winter fuel allowance.
I'm sorry, they voted yes. I do apologise. They voted yes
to get rid of it.
I'm sorry, when they could have voted no. I'm sort of got it scripted in my head what I'm going to write, you see. And I'm just going to say, well, I do hope that they have, because I don't think they will. I hope they have a conscience clear and a very warm Christmas, the pair of them, and they should both hang their heads in shame.
Oh, absolutely. Go ahead, Stats.
Yeah, it's funny because on these leaflets, it's telling you to, if it's not reported, it won't get sorted. So it's saying, please direct all local issues either to your councillors or by downloading the council's Report It app. Hang on a minute. Now, remember when we had Steve on the podcast and he had the problem with his councillor? And we got the phone number and we rung them, and what happened? She refused to speak to us because we were UKIP.
Yeah.
Right? And we can prove that. Because she forgot, didn't she, when she hung up the phone?
I still have the recording.
And we were still listening, which is funny because Christine Warner, I've never seen you in Little Sutton. In fact, I've only ever seen you once in life, and that was an election count. So where have you been hiding? Because I've lived here 20 years.
Yep.
20 years. Reporting, it'll get sorted. You are joking, aren't you? How many things have we reported or had consultations on or contacted councillors and MPs over? None of it's ever got sorted. In fact, everything's got worse. These people are a joke. Fabians, mate. That's what you get with these communists. Fabians.
Yeah. Well, we've always asked questions, and we were told that no councillor is liable to give any answers if they don't want to.
Exactly. So what's the point of them putting the phone numbers on there then?
That's right. You know,
I'll put this to the test then, I think.
And then the next thing is that if you call them, and I will give way politely to the Gazelle, but if you call them and you try to get an answer, they will just say that you're being vexatious, even on a second call.
But this is what they do, John. There was meetings online about the local hotel and all the people in it, right? And when it was going to come back to its original use, back into the community. As soon as I asked to be put in the meetings, 6 hours later, this councillor didn't feel well. The meeting was cancelled and there's never been another one. And this was months and months and months ago.
Yeah, that's because, well, you know exactly why that is.
Yeah,
I mean, they're cowards.
The questions that they want to answer, yeah.
They are absolute cowards. And I'm going to give way to the Gazelle, but I'm going to say...
They'd lie to residents, mate.
I'm going to say again that Mr. Matters was given an opportunity to debate with us in public. We would set it up, and I'm actually repeating that request. If he wants to sit down and have a debate with us over Labour policy and all the things that they're doing, we will set up the venue. We will arrange everything according to his availability, because don't forget now, he's a busy business minister.
Yeah, okay. Before Trev comes in, I'd have a question to ask him, because on this leaflet it says council approves significant increase in school places for children with additional needs. Are these having a laugh?
Oh, they're taking the Michael.
With the SEND crisis, the children aren't getting the needs. So you can approve all you want, but they're not getting them. These people talk absolute trash. Sorry, trash.
Well, it is trash, isn't it? Because what they're doing is all the points that we're highlighting, and we have been highlighting this over the last 18 months, every point that we highlight, they speak about. Yeah. They don't do anything.
No, it's all optics. It's all optics.
I can remember. Mention it. Now,
Mandy Clare said it. She turned around, she said that Councillor Mandy Clare said Labour are all about optics. And it's not just at a local level, but at a regional and national level. And you can see it. And is it any wonder that people are just looking at them and just saying, you're a liar. We don't believe you anymore. And I can see some very serious things happening. Like, for example, in France, when they had the Islamists call to prayer, a whole bunch of French people came out and started singing the Marseillaise in order to drown them out because they'd had enough of it. They'd had enough. I tell you what, if we get anything like that in Ellesmere Port, I'm out. I'm going to be taking every single battery-powered PA system, and we will be out to drown them out. Sorry, Gazelle, go ahead.
Yeah, going back to councillors, I've got, obviously, because I've stood in every part of Warrington. I've stood in a few cowpats as well in Burton Wood. And I only said that.
Were they Labour cowpats?
Because, no, there wasn't Labour cowpats. No,
and were they taking both of you?
Because somebody got in touch with me just recently about some flooding issue in Burton Wood. Obviously, because I've stood there before. And they voted Labour back in, and one independent, actually. So I thought the independent might have done something. But anyway. And I said, well, I'm sorry, but the only thing I couldn't advise you is you get onto your councillors. And they mentioned this flooding, and I went down to have a look, and I don't mean a puddle. It was a pond. It was half a street. I don't mean a little puddle. It was half a street.
A little puddle?
Not a little puddle. It was ducks on it. There was swans on it. That's how deep it was. And about 6 of the residents, wrote to the councillor, nothing. Not even a reply. Not that I'll get back to you, we'll look into it, I'll buy you a swan.
They're like our councillors
I'll buy
around
you a
here.
duck, I'll buy you an otter. Nothing.
An otter?
They're probably waiting for a dead body to be found at the bottom of it. Then they'll do something.
I'm not joking. I mean... So
somebody drowned in 4 inches.
I've suggested, well, another way you can get around it is one of these brilliant petitions that we do. Knock on your neighbours and just go round and just get a little petition signed.
They're just crap. They're not value for money.
No, but just say on it that next time round, come the election, we will not be voting for Labour.
Just say it. Just do it. And instead of all these bullshit artists saying, oh, I'm not voting for them again, and then they come round and they get persuaded to go out and vote for them, do it. Because they're not doing you any good. You're an idiot. Anybody that votes Labour, anybody that votes Conservative, anybody that votes Liberal Democrats, they're just idiots.
They've just done it in Nantwich last Thursday.
Yes.
They've had I think it was a by-election there at Nantwich Town Hall, and they voted Labour back in. Nantwich is a farming area.
Oh, the absolute prats.
A farming area.
Prats.
With all that's going on at the moment, and they still voted Labour back in.
Idiots. Absolute idiots.
You're not wrong, because I literally speaking to someone the other week, he said, I'm really regretting my decision now voting Labour. They're doing this, they're doing that, the Winterfield, all this stuff. I said, why did you vote for them? He said, because he told me to, and pointed to someone. And the fellow was like, oh, it wasn't me. And I just said, can't you think for yourselves? He goes, the liars. I said, mate, I've known you were liars for years. I've told you this. I gave you an alternative in the local elections. Yet you still all went and voted for those donkeys. I said, you're on your own. And I just laughed in his face. And I continue to this day.
Labour are stealing your democracy and your freedom by stealth. They're doing it. And they're doing it as fast as they can.
While they blame someone else.
You can see what, for example, in the States, Biden is pardoning a load of people that, basically that Trump will not be able to touch, when he comes in, blah, 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 blah. They're also, doing a lot of things politically to make it difficult for Trump to actually begin operating. They're doing everything that they can. Biden is in absolute shit. And anybody who I term a pound shop Democrat in this country, they're absolute shit, and I don't give a crap about them. Right? And Google are as well.
Oh, we'll get on to them in the next cast.
Don't get me going on the thing. Let's get back to reform. Sorry, go on, Trevor. Google it.
Yeah, I mean, people are starting to wake up. I mean, if they've actually made an incline into Blackbrook in St. Helens, that's a big wow. All right, it was low turnout, but low turnouts favour Labour, as I've said.
Love Spotify, love Apple, love Joe Rogan, love Trump. All those people.
Don't forget your wife.
Hate Labour. Hate them. Anyway, I don't even know whether I'm going to bleep them out. I don't give a shit. Go ahead, Trevor.
YouTube won't like it, but they can get f***ed as well.
Yeah, they can get f***ed. Okay. Go on, Trevor. I'm sorry, Trevor. Go on.
Yeah, we're getting nowhere, aren't we? I mean, not us. I'm on about this country in general. It's getting nowhere.
It's getting nowhere.
It's going down the pan faster than God knows what.
What I used to believe, I said I put a meme out that said that I would give my life, for what I thought this country stood for. Now I would give my life to try and protect my children, my family, from what it is now. Okay?
What it is, what it's become. It's people who are responsible for the paedophile information exchange now telling you people are a threat to democracy. What a democracy? What about children? Oh, you wrong-uns, like, really? They're going to take them on high ground?
I'm getting a bit concerned about when they're dragging all these failed politicians back. Your Miliband's and your Harmons and all.
They're using them as arm's length methods, right? It's just the WEF in action. I mean, Miliband, right? How is he actually going to give everybody? They lied before the election. They said before the election that they were going to knock money off your electricity bills. It's gone up.
Yeah, but it's nonsense.
It's 40 billion a year that this idiot's going to be. 40 billion a year for the next 5 years.
Net zero.
Wow. That's going to bankrupt the country.
No, we're skint, remember. So it's all good. Huh? Someone please make any of this make sense.
A 22 billion black hole. That's heaven.
Nobody can make any of this make sense. They are the biggest bunch of wits, right, that I've ever seen in a cabinet. Okay? F*** 'em. Right? People have got to wake up. Anybody that's voting Labour, you're a f***wit. You're an absolute
I'm trying not to swear, but it's getting tempting now.
No. Absolutely had enough. I'm going Joe Rogan. That's it. And we'll put this out on, if YouTube won't put it out, f*** them, we'll put it out on Rumble. Right?
Yeah,
and let the Americans deal with it.
Well, look, anyone who talks about politics gets strangled on YouTube, let's face it.
Oh, that's the truth.
Oh, unless you're the lamestream media, then, you do a search and that's all you get is them. And whatever happened to YouTube anyway? God.
Oh,
Anyway, I think we've got bigger problems coming in the next part of the podcast as well.
Yeah, I think so. When we start talking about that. Trevor.
I'm only laughing because otherwise I'll cry.
Reform. Okay. We need more Ben Habib.
Oh, well, don't we just? What's happened to Ben? You've got...
I love that guy.
You don't destroy one of your main assets.
Oh, he's just brilliant. He's absolutely superb.
Nobody knows what's gone on there because nobody will discuss it. When you ask a question, they just say, well, we've gone our different ways, that's it. Just sounds a bit odd to me because
but he sounded so pleased to see the back of Ben Habib. And Ben Habib is one of the most articulate, commentators I've ever come across. I'd rate Ben Habib amongst those, say, for example, like Konstantin Christen and, some of the Lotus Eaters.
Was he a threat to somebody? That's a question to be asked, isn't it?
You want people around you that are good.
Yeah, unless they're a threat to you.
Yeah. No. Even if they're a threat to you, you want them around.
I've not heard that question, but I'm raising it now. I mean, is he a threat to somebody? Because I don't understand why they've gone the different ways. It doesn't make any sense to me.
Yeah.
Anyway, we'll have to start calling
success in any parties you can get. That's what I'd look at.
Go on.
I was going to say Labour like Jack and Jill, aren't they? They went up the hill, but my God, they're falling down it, aren't they?
They're falling down it because Jill didn't take the pill.
Yeah, and Angela will be tumbling back after him as well, I think.
I think we can make a song out of this.
Yeah. What about that Christmas song? About Starmer.
Yeah, it's going to number one, isn't it? I mean, that Angela Rayner, she didn't have to have a car crash last Sunday. Did you see it on that Trevor Phillips show?
Jesus, she was.
We want houses, we don't want houses. We need houses. Oh, no, we don't need houses. We've got loads of houses.
That's it. That's it. You hit the nail on the head.
We've got loads of money.
Yeah. What do we want houses for? Got loads of houses.
We love immigrants. We don't want any more. They're a bit confused at the minute, aren't they? They're trying to keep everyone happy, but they don't realise they're literally contradicting themselves every 5 minutes.
When you look at Rachel from Accounts as well, she was on an interview the other day.
She's killed the economy. She knows it.
But it looked as if she was talking to herself. She looked as if she was trying. Did you see that interview? They kept putting it up on TV. Yeah. She looked as if she was talking to herself to convince herself.
Yeah, they are. I've been saying to them for ages, who are you lying to? Because we don't believe you. So are you trying to convince yourselves? They are. That's exactly what they're doing.
She looked as if she was trying to convince herself in that one interview.
The problem is that, they'll start using fists now. That's what they're going to do. They'll kill democracy. Well, not
Keir Starmer.
No, they'll use the police, but the police have got to watch out now because at a certain time they don't expect a Donald Trump to come into this country, and it will happen. And then all those people that have got videos of the police abusing their position, those police better watch out because, quite simply, if they have their immunity from prosecution removed, and those people are able to go after them, because some of those police are on power trips now. There is no doubt about it. They're on power trips, and they think that they can get away with anything.
Well, it seemed to be doing.
Well, at the moment, but it's only
prosecutions. That's what's the only way to hold them accountable. There's a few people doing it, but nowhere near enough because it's time consuming. It costs a lot of money.
Yeah,
there's no guarantee it's going to work either.
Well,
because the CPS can just go, quash that.
No. I think at a certain time, if we get a Donald Trump in this country, I think what'll happen is they'll just turn around to the judiciary and they'll also say, well, if you don't play ball, we're going to remove your absolute immunity from prosecution. And once that happens, then you'll start seeing a change in all the decision making by the judges straight away. I know that people will accuse you of saying, well, that's politicization of the judges. But tell me, with what you're saying and what you're seeing as well, that the decisions are the right decisions. I mean, let's face it. What are the chances of 3 high-profile cases coming up on the 20th of January for the inauguration of Donald Trump? Go ahead, Stats.
Yeah, I think people are reading a little bit too much into that. That's not going to hide anything, is it? These cases aren't going to be one day. So they would have been better putting the final day of all the cases, if they all finish at the same time, which they won't, on that day. But they haven't. So it'll just, the first day, nothing really happens anyway.
Bit of sanity there. I understand.
If they believe, well, this is the thing. These people are that stupid. They probably think this is a distraction. No, you don't do it as well as the Americans. The aliens are back, but now they fly drones. That's a proper distraction. Come on.
Yes.
If you're going to do psyops, do them properly. God, we're like Poundland. Deep state here, aren't we? They can't do anything properly. They try and copy the Yanks, but they're just nowhere near as good or bad. I don't know which word to use. But
sorry, are we sounding critical? I mean, we started off wanting to say, like, are Reform going to do it? I think they are.
Yeah.
I think Reform are going to get the funding. They're going to start to come forward with some pretty smart things. And Trevor is going to be in pole position, aren't you, Gazelle?
I mean, they are getting the funding. As I mentioned a few casts ago, I said once they start getting to 18 and 20% in the regular I'm on about, not the odd poll, I mean on a consistent basis, that's when the investors come in, and they are doing. So it's not going to be for lack of money, it's just going to be the organisational side of it, like they're trying to obviously democratise everything at the moment.
Okay.
I think it might be too late for me anyway, because as you know, I'm looking at getting out of this
hellhole. This hellhole of a country.
It's a descending cesspit of a hellhole. I agree with you there. And I'm obviously.
Well, if you move to Greece, Thailand, or Cambodia, you're going to get on your door, and when you open it, there will be me, Stats, families, everything going. Have you got any sugar, please?
And I'll tell you what, and I think for the price of the accommodation over there, I can rent myself a nice big thinger. And I've just received, as we speak, my latest copy of Ties R Us catalogue for 2025. So I'll be going through that to see where we're settling.
Ties R Us, that's a good one.
Yeah, Ties R Us. It's all the ladies in there, in particular areas, and
And we're going to say, Trevor, how are you doing? And you're going to say, well, I can't speak at the moment because I'm pretty tied up.
Yeah, hopefully.
All right. Okay. Well,
hopefully.
Let's wrap that up. So Reform, yes. They're actually going to be coming forward. They're going to be doing some good. I'm not a big fan of Farage. I think they should get rid of the guy, to be honest with you.
Well, we've only got Reform, haven't we, to be honest?
They're the only horse in the race.
Only work with what's there in front of us, I suppose.
Unless UKIP or Ben Habib get his act together. I mean, if Ben Habib did something, that's interesting.
He's got the money to do it.
Oh yeah,
personal wealth.
He's not a poor guy, you know.
He's not a poor guy, so he's got, you know, watch his space. That's all I.
Well, I'm a poor guy. Look, I'm in black and white while you guys are in colour. Look at that. We can see the colour. Even Larry the ladder will be looking there saying, smiling. Right?
You're right there, actually, but mine's from the food bank. Into this afternoon. So they'll give me a little card for the electric. So that should run out till about 9 o'clock tonight, hopefully. Then I'll be in the dark again. But don't worry, because the MPs won't be. Our Warrington MPs won't be in the dark. Don't worry about them. Don't be concerned about them.
You should ask if you can go and crash at their second homes, because they'll be heated as well, won't they?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. They've got spare houses there. All nice and warm and inside.
Tell me something. Who's paying for Larry's operation?
Well, we don't know yet. It's going out to sponsor, isn't it?
Go fund me for Larry.
Go fund me for Larry's operation. Can't say anymore.
That's a step too far, that.
Step too far. Yes. Well, all I can say is I'm glad he's not a furry. That's all I can say.